Hey there. Welcome to another episode of Mike's Collection. Episode 394, I think we're at. I'm Mike.
I'm Scott.
Thank you for joining me again.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we had shot a video prior to tonight.
Yeah.
You came over tonight so we could talk about our new toys and talk about all the reveals at Toy Fair in New York this past weekend. But we talked so much about Toy Fair that we decided to cut it off, make that its own episode, and now we've got another episode where we can just talk about our recent toys.
Yeah.
So we ended the last episode talking about a new Alf figure. Do you want to just dive right into that?
Yeah, so it's the Ben Cooper Alf, and he's quite terrifying to look at because you won't be able to see on the camera here, but
I'll put it like a split screen.
It's hard to see that he has eyes, so it almost looks like a soulless mask.
Now the mask doesn't come off, right?
No, they don't come off. And yeah, it's a classic Halloween outfit that we were all forced to wear as children, where it's just a plastic mask with a rubber band that would eventually break halfway through the night, and the sharpest plastic mask that has ever been created.
Shirt say?
So on the shirt it says "Trick or treat, no problem." Now, I can't even read what the rest of it says. Something with the good something, but yeah. So it's just like
that's
picture of Alf text on it. Yeah, and like the text is kind of like choppy looking, but it was Elf, so I had to get it.
So he says trick or treat, no problem. Now how about the good stuff?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, so it's weird. This is my first time handling him. So he's got little vinyl clothes, which probably feels like the way those Halloween costumes kind of felt.
Yeah.
Very plasticky. I thought it was going to be more like soft goods, which I guess this qualifies as that. But yeah, it's okay. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't see the kid's face under there. I'd be kind of curious if he ripped this off, if he even has a sculpted face. Yeah.
I don't know if it could get more terrifying than what it is already, but that might do it.
Now he has a little cardboard bag.
Yes.
Do they all come with a bag, or do some of them have buckets?
I'm not sure if any of them have buckets, but some of them have cloth bags.
Okay.
So like they also did a Ninja Turtle line. It was like the 4 Turtles, Shredder, Bebop, and Rocksteady, I think.
Okay.
And they all had the Ninja Turtle pillowcase that most of us had as kids. Like it's that pillowcase,
and
cool. It is cloth. So yeah, but his is just like a cardboard generic trick or treat.
Yeah.
Bag.
Because we had just been talking about these because they had some new ones revealed at Toy Fair this past weekend, and yeah, they're definitely a niche collectible, but they must be selling pretty well because this is like what I don't know, 6th, 7th, 8th wave.
Yeah.
And yeah, they are kind of funny. Like they've done lots of different characters, like a lot of the horror characters and stuff.
Yeah.
They did a kid dressed up as Godzilla, which looks like a terrible costume, but that's kind of what made these costumes so kind of charming, I guess, and how bad they are. But I was kind of tempted to get the Godzilla kid. And if I ever see it in the wild, maybe I will.
Yeah, I mean, I got him because he was Alf. Like, I wouldn't normally collect these, but I collect anything Alf. So,
yep. For any of you that haven't watched an episode with Scott before, he is an Alf fanatic.
Yes, big time. What else? So we were also just talking
before you know that, I just want to give a shout out to our American viewers, because I think most of my viewers are American. They are missing out on this maple Pepsi. I wasn't sure when I saw this for sale, but I guess it was a very limited run here in Canada, and I thought, well, things like this often don't last very long, so I got to try it out. But I got halfway through the first case, and I had to go and get a second one, and now I think they are probably gone. I think it was like a month-long promotion or something, but yeah, it was just exclusive to Canada, so if you can get your hands on some maple Pepsi, I would say go for it.
Now, can you just pour maple syrup in a regular Pepsi? And do you think it would do the trick? Or
that's kind of what it tastes like, but I don't think it would come out quite the same.
That'd be a sugar overload.
Well, this is 0, by the way.
Oh.
0 sugar. So good luck trying to make that yourself at home.
So I got the Leonardo, Masters of the Universe. I don't know what it was with this figure, but I just loved the look of this figure.
Turtles of Grayskull, right?
Yes. Yeah, and there's 2 versions of him, I think this. I don't know if that one's the alternate version or the original one, but I saw him and he was on discount on Big Bad, and his shell I believe comes off and it's like a shield.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah,
I like he's got, because I couldn't tell from looking at pictures of this online or anything, but he's got translucent blue armor.
yeah,
Which is kind of cool.
yeah.
Although the thing about these guys is this doesn't look like Masters of the Universe to me. Like it looks like a Leonardo wearing kind of a cool armor.
Yeah.
But turtles themselves are just so distinctly Ninja Turtles that I can't imagine this guy walking around Eternia in the same way that if you took like a G.I. Joe character like Duke and put him in armor, you could be like, oh, that looks like Duke, but he kind of looks like he could fit into Eternia because there's guys that look like Duke on Eternia. But yeah, this is just too specific of a look that but it's cool.
Yeah, I definitely got him because of being Leonardo and not anything to do with Masters of the Universe.
Is he your favorite turtle?
No, mine was Raphael when I was a kid, but now I think it's Michelangelo. I don't know, it's either him or Donatello. But
I've always been a Leonardo guy.
Yeah. I love the look of that one. So and he was on discount, so in the card he went. Same with this guy. So this is supposed to be like the Shredder version of Skeletor. Mm-hmm. And I thought he'd glow in the dark, but it's just that his color is neon.
He looks like he should glow in the dark.
Yeah, but like I think it's just that bright that. But yeah, it's this is a fun one, and I do like the cape on him. I didn't think I was gonna like the cape. It's like it's a plastic or like rubbery plastic piece, but he's got a little canister of ooze there.
See, he's cool. Now this thing, when I look at that figure, that looks like a cool Skeletor variant.
Yeah.
Nothing about it really screams Ninja Turtles, which is fine. Like I could buy that and I could put it in my Masters of the Universe collection and it would just look like one of the many different Skeletors. Like I could see myself buying that maybe. The green is a little off-putting, but
it's the like the Shredder helmet is really what makes it feel like the crossover. But other than that,
But it does look like just kind of a just samurai helmet.
Yeah. Yeah, so, exactly.
And there was a samurai Skeletor at one point in like the 2000s. So.
Yeah, so I got him. And then this guy was not discount, but this is Playmates Raphael from The Last Ronin.
Okay.
But yeah, I really like this figure. He's articulated really well.
Yeah. Nice. So do you have all the different turtles from The Last Ronin?
So for Playmates, they only made that I'm aware of. So they have that Raphael, and then they have the black and white version of the Ronin, which I think you have.
Yeah.
And I do have that, and then they have the non-black and white version.
See, that's too bad in that, like, we talked about this in the last episode. Playmates has lost the license to Ninja Turtles. So I would guess that they were probably planning on doing the rest of them, and now they probably just don't have the time to do it.
Because I love this figure. I think this would have been a great line to run with. Like the articulation's great.
He's cool.
But
like that, the one I have, which is the black and white variant of the Last Ronin character.
Yeah.
That me and Chad, I think, both put that on our best of the year list like 2 years ago.
Mm.
Which is saying something. For a Playmates figure, they're usually kind of simple. Like, I love these Masters of the Universe Origins figures I collect, but they don't really make the best of the year list typically because they're too simple compared to other things that I collect. But yeah, those Playmates Last Ronin ones.
Yeah, they went all out. Yeah. And then speaking of Last Ronin, so I got Night Watcher April O'Neil. So at one point, I guess I'm not going to spoil anything. So Raphael dies, and then the turtle.
That sounds like a spoiler.
Hopefully, people have figured that out by now. He's the first one to go, and then they kind of regroup and they start like Night Watcher group. And so in the comic, they're all like this, like grayish with like red coloring on them for the few scenes that they're in. And I just loved this April O'Neil figure. I like the look of it.
So this is NECA.
Yeah, this is NECA.
Yeah.
So I have the full group of the. She's still quite stiff.
Yeah, NECA stuff always is.
Yeah. But yeah, I have the full Night Watcher group.
All right, so this. So, because in Last Ronin, the storyline, April's like an old lady. This is her before she was an old lady.
Yeah. So this was because I think Raphael dies, and I think like 10 years or something like that goes by.
Yeah.
For the rest of the fiasco goes on, and then there's another time jump.
Because like this is still like a pretty figure. She has a nice
Yeah.
face. I find the April O'Neil as an old lady is she's got all these like
Quite rough.
lines and she's a little
Yeah, she's missing an arm and a leg.
yeah she's a little rough looking. So yeah, this is still a nice looking April.
Yeah, this was before she got blown up. But yeah, and then this is one of the McFarlane turtles. So I knew Leonardo was your favorite, so I brought Leonardo so you could see him.
You have two, right? Or was it two in
turtles?
Shredder?
Yeah. So yeah, I got him and Donatello, and then Shredder and a Foot Soldier.
Okay.
And then the next wave is Mikey and Raph and Bebop and Rocksteady.
Right.
Yeah, and then yeah, I think I like the look of these guys better than the Loyal Subjects.
Yeah.
But I like the articulation better on the Loyal Subjects. Like I don't like the feet on these
Loyal
guys.
Subjects and McFarlane are making turtles based on the current
on the
IDW comic books.
Yeah.
And yeah,
and it's frustrating because now in the newest editions that IDW is putting out, they don't really look like this anymore. Like they're getting jacked again. Like they kind of look more like the almost like the Fortnite ones that are coming out. So, but that just means that there's more turtles for me to buy. So I guess I'm okay with that. They keep changing the look, so I got to keep buying more.
And the thing with that type of line,
yeah,
I don't necessarily love the look of the turtles always because they have like almost no snout. Their faces are a little flat. But some of the designs of the other characters, like Bebop and Rocksteady, look great. And I'd like to see some of these side characters, like Old Hob and Alopex.
Yeah,
and
there's
stuff.
like nothing for Old Hob out there.
Yeah, some of those characters would be cool to get. So
yeah, and then I was worried when McFarlane got that license because of your issue with the superpowers and where there's some obvious characters that he hasn't put out. And I'm like, I hope he doesn't do that with the turtles. Like I feel like no matter who makes it, it's always the same characters that keep coming out. And I'm like, where's Old Hob? But yeah, and then this is the Shredder from the McFarlane line as well. It looks almost identical to the Loyal Subjects one.
Okay, I see.
Yep, he's also quite stiff.
Yeah, it's a part of toy collecting, I guess, but I feel I'm constantly getting let down by the toy lines that sputter out before they give you all the characters that you want. And it's hard for toy companies to do that, I understand, because so many of the toy lines that I love are very, like, have a very big cast of characters.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I think he's cool.
Yeah.
I don't want to pose him too much. I don't know how delicate he is. But,
and like, it came with an unhelmeted head. And it was a pain getting that one off and then trying to get the other one on. And the other one didn't really want to go on that well. So he's helmeted. And I think I switched the one on the Loyal Subjects, maybe. I have one with and one without.
But yeah, like another line that got announced that I have mixed feelings about. So at actually it was just the days before Toy Fair. Super7 announced a whole bunch of stuff. Mm-hmm. But they announced a line of reaction figures, which I collect reaction figures of a lot of different brands. But they announced Law and Order.
Okay.
And I'm a fan of Law and Order. I've seen every episode.
Yeah.
And for those of you who have never watched Law and Order, trust me, it's a good show. I know there's so many police procedurals out there that it's like, oh, well, is that the same as like LAPD, whatever. Yeah. I don't know about those other shows. I don't watch it, but Law and Order is kind of like the original concept of it. Half the episode being the cops and half the episode being the lawyers of one case. It's really well done. It's had a string of great actors, except the cops are all detectives who wear suits, and then the lawyers are all lawyers who wear suits. Reaction figures don't have super detailed face sculpts for the most part. Mm-hmm. So, I just don't know. Is he going to make a line? Just a bunch of guys in suits? And I'd also be worried that line might not sell so great that I'd end up with, 2 waves of maybe 4 figures, and then it would just sputter out. And then I'd be like, well, I would have rather not bothered at all. If I'm only going to have 8 characters from the whole, 25-year history of the show. But I also don't want to wait until they do, okay, now there's 30 characters, now I can buy them all. So I don't know how I feel about Law & Order. I'm sort of excited about it. I've never thought I needed Law & Order action figures.
So did they just announce it, or have you actually seen...
I haven't seen any of the figures. Because what they did in the week leading up to Toy Fair is they just showed a bunch of logos and they said coming soon, and
Okay.
it would usually say Reaction or Super Ultimates or whatever. So yeah, there was a bunch. I can't remember. Like one of them was like MTV, and I was like, "What are they gonna do? Are they gonna do like VJs of like
Mm.
Pauly Shore?" But then I think
Yeah.
once it ended up being things like, "Oh, they're gonna do like Beavis and Butthead and
Right.
Ren and Stimpy, that sort of stuff or whatever." So yeah, Law and Order. Maybe they'll throw me a curveball. I don't know what they would do, but like when they first announced like Green Day reaction figures, I thought I was going to get reaction figures of the three band members. Obviously,
Yeah.
the first one they did was the dog from their Dookie album cover, which is like a little cartoon dog.
Yeah.
And now the next one they've done is the girl off of their early album Kerplunk. It's like a little animated girl.
Okay.
So it's like, okay, so they're making Green Day adjacent figures, but it's just the characters off their album covers.
Right.
Kind of like they do all kinds of Iron Maiden action figures, but it's never the band. It's just their mascot, Eddie. So I don't know. Maybe Law and Order will be something weird, but I'm assuming it's going to be the cops and the lawyers.
I'm curious if you'll be able to like look at them and be like, oh, that's clearly that character.
Lenny Briscoe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm maybe excited about that line, but also I'm scared of it because it could be a deep line. Like if they do the characters,
because how many seasons is that show?
is it 25, maybe 24, 25, and every episode, like there's two main detectives, but then there's also the police chief, and then there's two main assistant DAs, but then there's also the DA. So you could argue there's about like 6 main characters, and every 2 years or so they recycle the cast and something changes. So there's a lot of characters that can be done, and who knows? Maybe they'd even throw me a curveball and do some of the suspects.
Yeah.
Occasionally, big actors like Julia Roberts played a criminal in one of them or something.
Okay.
Like they might give you these one-off villains from some of the more famous episodes.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe they're going to go right into doing like Law and Order SVU, which is there's like because there's multiple spin-off shows.
Yeah.
So the list of characters can be endless, and I just cannot imagine anybody's going to collect a line of 60 figures in suits. But I kind of want to. I don't know. Anyway, I got us way off course on that.
I only brought one other figure with me. And this isn't a new one, but it's Casey Jones from the Mirage Comics. So I've been big into the Mirage Comics NECA figures.
Yeah.
Mainly because they were all on sale on Big Bad Toy Store. So I was like, I'm going to get them.
I bought one too.
He was like $12, I think, maybe.
I'll jump ahead a little bit. So I bought Super Turtle, which I don't know anything about this character. Do you?
I do not.
I assumed when I bought it, because this guy was like in Canada, he was like $70, which is too much.
Yeah.
But NECA figures are typically like $60 a lot of times anyway. But this guy was marked down to I think $30, so he was less than half price. And I was like, well, I love these Mirage figures too.
Yeah.
I thought this was like Michelangelo dressed up as a superhero or something.
Mm.
But what little research I did is I don't think it is. I think it is a unique character.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he came with a ton of accessories. He came with a couple little robots to fight, which I think. He's got a bunch of different weapons, an alternate head. But yeah, like just the look of these Mirage figures where they have that heavy black lines that look like they've been inked from a comic book. Yeah. Just a lot of fun. So yeah, when they were all on sale, I kind of couldn't help myself too.
Well, it's like I just bought the 4 original Mirage Turtles and Splinter off of somebody on Marketplace, and they're all still like boxed and everything. And they were out of the box at one point at Buddy's house, but they're in a glass display cabinet and everything, so they're like mint. And I wanted them, but I was like, it looks like the same turtle over and over again. But they look so good. I really wanted them, and then the price he had on, I was like, I can't not get it. So
yeah, they were so good.
I'm glad to. Yeah, I was happy I got those. Yeah, and then it was just one Mirage. Like I got Renette, I got an Ultimate Utrom, I got the Glow in the Dark Fugitoid.
I saw him too. He was like $20 or something.
I think he was even cheaper than that when I got him at because I went into EB Games to get CoverGirl. Yeah, and and I think he might have been like $12, and I was like, I can't leave him there for $12.
I saw him there too. I was tempted. I don't really care about the character Fugitoid though.
I like the character, but I wanted the other. I didn't want the Glow in the Dark.
I keep hoping that their Leatherhead is going to go on sale because the Leatherhead's a really big crocodile character, but he's still like $80 or something.
I think so. Yeah.
So yeah, if he goes down to half price, I'd buy him for $40
Yeah.
for sure. He's like twice as tall as these other figures.
Oh, he's massive. He would probably fit in with your Godzillas.
Yeah. Here, let me see Casey Jones. I kind of cut
Yep.
you off with Casey a little bit there.
Yeah. I love his golf club that he has. But yeah, I don't know. I just really like that. I think I have 3 or 4 different Casey Jones.
Now, did he come with an alternate unmasked head or anything?
He did, yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But yeah, I love the dark lines on these figures. Just make them pop.
Yeah, it really
Looks
makes
so
them
good.
look like artwork come
Yeah.
to life.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of those.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, lots of turtles.
Yeah, yeah. So a lot of the stuff that I've gotten this year is like stuff you already have. So I didn't bother bringing those ones over. But yeah, I got those turtles. Oh, I got the Biker Mice from Mars Funko Pops that came out, I think, on December 31st.
So like probably the last time you were on the show, you were new to G.I. Joe comic books, and you were kind of debating on whether you should get into collecting the classified figures.
Yeah.
What's your classified collection up to now?
Gosh, we got to be coming close to 20 maybe by now. So I got my first 2 for Christmas. I got the Cobra Commander and like his blue like standard outfit.
Yeah, it's a retro card one.
Yeah, yep. And the Snake Eyes with like the blue and black outfit, because those were the 2 G.I. Joe figures that I had as a kid. That like those were my first figures, and they were mine. They weren't hand-me-downs from like my cousins or anybody else. Like those are my figures. So I was excited to get those 2. Got them for Christmas, and then it's just exploded since then. So I've got quite a few of the Dreadnoks. I got quite a few Cobra, and I think I have like 5 of each. So Dreadnoks, Cobra, and Joe's. So I must have around like 15-ish.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I tried to pick up Destro yesterday and today. Somebody has a retro carded Destro on Marketplace for like $20. And,
yeah, that's a good figure.
But yeah, like I really want it, but he's slacking on getting back to me, so I don't know if it's gonna happen or not. But yeah, I need Destro in my collection, and it's like it's been characters that I've seen, and like because I don't know like what issue is the new one on there. It's like
I think like,
no, it can't be 18.
Yeah, I think it is because it went monthly for a little while.
Okay.
Or weekly, sorry. Like they just did a 5-issue storyline called Dreadnought War in the new G.I. Joe comic book published by Skybound.
So there are like 16, 17, 18, somewhere in there. So the characters that I've seen in those are the ones that I'm picking up.
Yeah.
So like they're like there's a bunch that I see at the store that I'm like, oh, that guy looks cool, but I don't know who that is yet.
And then it'll show up in the comic book, and then you'll want to
and then I'm like, oh, I gotta go back and get him now. So yeah. But Destro has eluded me so far, and Duke is the other one. Yeah. But I do have like I got Baroness, and I have 2 different Cobra Commanders. I have the one where he's got like his fancy outfit.
Okay.
And,
like the armored one, or
he's got like that like I call it a pirate gun.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
They did 3 different versions of that, like a dark blue, a lighter blue, and then a black.
Okay,
with a cloth cape.
I think it's the dark blue one, probably.
Okay, yeah, that was the standard series, like Wave 1 release figure. Yep, that's pretty cool. Well, I'm glad you're getting into it,
and I'm really into the Dreadnoks. They're the fun figures. So I got Buzzer, Ripper, Road Pig, Torch. I'm pretty sure there's a 5th one.
Do you have Zartan yet?
I don't have Zartan yet. That's why I was looking at the one that's coming out. I'm like, but that's not the Zartan I know. So I don't know if I'll find. Because there was another Zartan.
Well, there's like a Mohawk Zartan that's coming out soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's not the most well-known version of them.
Yeah. So I'd like to find the other one.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm loving them.
Good.
I love the accessories that come with them. I like that you can actually like fit the guns into their hands, and like the finger actually goes on the trigger, and there's usually a space to put all their accessories. That's what drives me nuts.
They're loaded with accessories.
Yeah, and a lot of them you can fit on the figure. So like one of the things that drives me nuts is when you get a figure and they come with all these things, and they can't hold them all, and there's nowhere to put them. So I'm like, I usually do keep a lot of my boxes. And I'll keep everything in there for now.
That's a good segue.
Yeah.
Because my birthday was in January.
Yeah.
So I got some toys for my birthday. And I haven't talked about any of my toys yet this year. Like here we are, we're nearing. Well, I guess we're halfway through February. So it's been a month and a half.
I keep seeing you posting pictures. I'm like, this is going to be a 20-hour video.
Yeah, I've got a lot of toys here. So because I post everything on Instagram and then I usually try and review it in a video. The fact that I didn't post for like a month, I'm kind of not getting out of making videos, but I'm not going to put that pressure on myself to try and do one every week like I had been doing. So yeah, you might not see as much of me anymore. And I'm not going to force myself to try and show you everything I get before I put it away in my collection. If you want to know everything I buy, follow me on Instagram at Mike's Collection Halifax. But since you were coming over and I didn't have any specific topic to talk about, I just thought, I'm going to grab, I think, pretty much everything I can and talk about it.
Yeah.
So normally I wouldn't talk about a G.I. Joe figure in a catch-all episode like this because I do, when I get enough G.I. Joes piled up, I do a G.I. Joe specific episode.
Yeah.
But I haven't got any G.I. Joes this year. None have really been released yet. Mm-hmm. There's a new wave of them that should be out anytime very soon. Like I pre-ordered a wave with the Big Lob and the Night Viper and Lifeline. I'm excited about those guys. But so far, the only G.I. Joe I got was this G.I. Joe Sniper. She's one of the nameless characters from the 60th anniversary legacy line.
Okay.
Now I'm not going to talk about her in detail because I already got this figure probably a year and a half ago. But my friend Guy bought me this for my birthday. And I sympathize with people like him who's not over at my house all the time. He can't keep track of everything I buy. He just knows I like G.I. Joes.
What do you buy the man that has everything?
Yeah, right? So he went out to GameStop and he bought me this figure. And he's like, you don't have this one already, do you? And I was like, I do, but this is a great gift because you talked about how they can carry all their accessories. Yeah. These anniversary figures are deluxe and they come in a big box with way too many accessories. Often they come with extra heads, extra outfits, and everything. So this particular Sniper figure had 3 different heads you could choose from. One of them was like a white girl. One of them was like a black girl. She had like a whole ghillie camouflage suit made out of soft goods.
Yep.
And when you put that on her, you can't really see or appreciate any of the detail in her sculpt. So the fact that I have 2 now, I can display one on my shelf with the white girl face with the ghillie suit on, and then I can display this black girl with a different set of gear. Mm-hmm. So it makes for a completely unique
different figure. Yeah.
So yeah, that was a great present from Guy. He also got me a Batgirl figure, and which I don't have here, and he also got me a knockoff Labubu.
Nice.
So yeah, I am not a Labubu collector, but
I just watched the South Park episode about Labubus last night, actually.
Where Butters is buying them up.
Yeah.
So yeah, last year started really slow with G.I. Joes as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first 2 quarters
because the end of the year went nuts, didn't it?
It went nuts.
Yeah.
And this year is going to be the same too.
Okay.
I keep a spreadsheet of all my pre-orders and stuff, and I probably have 20 plus G.I. Joes that I know are either on pre-order already or are coming soon. All the stuff that just got revealed at Toy Fair this weekend, I put it on my spreadsheet, even though they didn't give release dates yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're going to get nailed for G.I. Joes at the end of the year for sure. Transformers is one of my bigger collections, so usually I like to wait and do a whole Transformers episode. But I haven't been getting a whole lot of Transformers lately, so I just thought I'd quickly talk about the 2 new Transformers I've gotten this year. So this guy here is called Sure Shot. He's a Target Master. He's a character from the vintage line, but I don't remember him. I didn't have him as a kid or anything. So, whatever. My thoughts, he feels cheap. I don't know what you think.
He was very lighter than I expected. And when I was holding back here, it felt a little hollow.
Yeah. That's, Transformers collectors complain a lot about when you turn Transform around, his legs and his arms are all hollow pieces.
Yeah.
And they've gotten pretty good with a lot of newer toys about making an extra panel that covers up the hollow spots.
Yeah, the back, but those hamstrings would be, those are covered.
But this guy looks and feels cheap. The plastic feels like almost dollar store plastic. And it's not like that with other Transformers. So I don't know if he's a one-off or maybe that's the trend going forward. This guy doesn't feel like that though. So this is another Generation 1 Transformer that I'm a big fan of. This is Wind Charger. When I got rid of my Transformer toys when I was a tween, I only kept 3 of them. I have my original Thrust, my original Gears, and my original Wind Charger. Those guys were favorites of mine, and I've got great updates of Thrust and Gears, but Wind Charger hadn't had a really good update.
I think he's heavier than
Yeah,
this guy, and he's like almost twice the size.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I don't know why he feels so oddly cheap.
Yeah. No, I don't have any Transformers myself, but I love these
Yeah, he looks great.
Yeah.
And what I'm actually kind of hoping for is Wind Charger is one of those toys, kind of like Gears. Like, see that? You guys can't see him, but just off camera there. So the vintage toy, he had a face that had like a visor and like no mouth and nose. It was more like an Optimus Prime type face. But in the cartoon, he had a face with a mouth and nose and eye. He could emote. And so when they did a nice Gears figure, they did a version with the toy face and then with the cartoon face. And I like them both. So with Wind Charger, he's the same thing. The vintage toy just had a black visor for eyes and he had no mouth and nose. And that was the one I played with as a kid. I really liked that look. Although it did kind of bother me that it didn't match up with his look in the cartoon and the comic books where he had a full face. So they've given us a face now, which I'm glad I have. But I kind of hope they maybe give us a slightly recolored one with the toy face. So I would totally buy him again. So it's easy money, Hasbro.
Yeah.
This next thing I want to talk about. In our last episode, we were talking about McFarlane and how they do a lot of these like action or in-action figures, I guess you call them.
Yeah.
They do statues, essentially.
Yeah.
But they're cheap statues. They're made of plastic. They're not like resin or anything like that. And I haven't really had any interest in them. They've been doing Marvel statues. Some of them look really nice, but I'm just like, you know what? I already collect Marvel action figures. I don't need to get into Marvel statues. But this thing here came out, and I just something about it. I was like, this is a unique item. This isn't like a normal statue. And if you've ever watched my episodes before, including this one, every time I say this is episode whatever of the show, I always put a little insert of an old school Marvel corner box. Yeah. And I don't necessarily know why I started doing that. I just like kind of putting graphics to make the show a little more interesting to look at. And so the first time I did it, when I said like, oh, this is episode 60, I thought, well, should I just Google the number 60 and try and find one that's like, and then I thought, well, it'd be fun to get like a Marvel corner box and I'll put it in the corner of my screen. Because all Marvel comic books used to have that from like the 60s, 70s, 80s, and the 90s. They don't do it anymore. But there's just something about that corner box that I kind of love. It feels like very kind of iconic to me. Yeah. So this here is a McFarlane like statue of the Spider-Man corner box from the adjectiveless Spider-Man comic book that Todd McFarlane launched in late 80s, very early 90s. So yeah, I don't know. Like this is you can't recreate that pose in an action figure or anything. So yeah, he's just like hanging upside down. But I will say, so when I saw this it came in a big old box and everything, it looked pretty impressive. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I don't know where it's going to fit in my collection, but I bought it anyway. I was surprised that this backing piece is just kind of cheap cardboard. Like, and I feel like, yeah, this could get ruined really easily. I already find this corner's getting a little smudged.
Yeah.
And I'm like, would it have been so hard to make this like plastic?
Yeah.
So it just feels like they cheaped out a little bit because all of his other statues, same thing. They're not specifically corner boxes, but they're usually covers from famous comic books and stuff. And so you get the 3D figure, but then they just put like a backdrop. Yeah. And now I know, assuming from this, that they're all just kind of flimsy cardboard, which I think kind of diminishes the look of them. It makes them look a little cheaper. But I do love that figurine on it.
Yeah, looks great.
I
wouldn't have known it was cardboard until, because I remember when you posted about it.
Yeah.
And that was the only reason that I knew it was cardboard before you just mentioned it now. But if you wouldn't have said anything, I don't think I would have noticed at first. If I handled it, yeah. But like if it was just like on one of your shelves or something.
And it'd probably be fine, but God forbid it fell off the shelf.
Yeah.
It could get corners all dented in.
Yeah.
Or if I put it in a room where it was humid, I could see that thing like crumpling up or something. It's just like, how hard would it have been to put it on like plastic?
Yeah.
Because like with some of the Marvel Legends that Hasbro does, the latest wave. They call them mini comics,
Mhm.
which is really kind of just junk. But every figure you buy, he comes with a little black plastic square. You know, it's firm, but it's got a kind of a digital print of a famous cover on the plastic. And like that's what you could have done with that. They're about the same width, except it would have been plastic, and if you hit the ground, it would like clank instead of flop. So anyway, I thought that was neat. But anyway, here's an action figure that I bought about a half hour before you came in.
Okay.
So where we live, they do these local toy shows every 2 months or so. You went to the one this past weekend.
Yep.
And said it was okay.
It was all right. There was less stuff there that I was interested in than normal.
Yeah.
But there was some different people there, some different things. But yeah, there was. I got one of those stained glass Ninja Turtles that like I think most people had as a kid. And,
I saw that on your Instagram.
Yeah, it was $2. It's $3 to get in, so I had a toonie in my pocket. So I was like, "Here you go."
Yeah, I normally go to these so I can support them,
Yeah.
but this one was on Valentine's Day, and I just like. Part of the problem is too when I go there to support them, I feel well now I have to buy something to support them, but I spend no shortage of money on action figures, and I buy so much new stuff that I always pre-order it. Like I've got Marvel Legends, GI Joes, Transformers. That when I go to these toy shows, it's mostly like used stuff, vintage stuff. It's not stuff that I'm actively looking for.
Yeah.
And it's just like if I buy it, it's more as a well, I might as well buy something since I'm here. And I really don't want to be wasting my money. I've got a trip to Toronto coming up in a couple of weeks. But anyway, so I was like, I'm not going to the toy show. I'm not going to spend money. But a guy I know, Glenn, that is always one of the vendors at the toy show, he messaged me the other day. He said, hey, are you going to the toy show? And I said, I don't think I am. And he's like, oh, because you asked me about this Walrus Man figure that I wasn't sure if I would even wanted to sell. He's like, I'll sell it to you for $20. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to go to the show, but I'll buy it. And he's like, okay, well, I won't bring it with me. I'll set it aside so it doesn't get dinged up. So just today I said, hey, can I come by and grab it? Because I knew we were doing this episode. But so this here is a retro card Walrus Man. Okay. Walrus Man is my all-time favorite Star Wars character. You guys can't see him. He's just off screen, but just right above this thing here. That is a jumbo sized of this figure. Like it's got the same card artwork and everything. And so that was a 12-inch size from Gentle Giant. This was my favorite Star Wars toy that I had as a kid. And Hasbro has been doing these retro card releases lately where they kind of redo the toy and it looks just like it did in the old days. Now they do put a very obnoxious retro sticker covering up the artwork. Yeah. Kind of lame. But my kind of thought process on these figures was like, I'm kind of interested to buy characters that never had been done in the vintage line before, like kind of expanding the original Kenner line. I'm not really interested in redos of old toys because I still have a lot of my old Kenner Star Wars figures. But with Walrus Man being far and away my favorite character, the fact that this retro card, you couldn't go out and buy it singly, which is what I probably would have done. It came in a 6-pack with like other figures.
Okay,
so
that's why it's not punched out.
Yeah, so he would have had to pay like over $100 to get all the figures.
Right.
But then I think he kept a couple that he wanted, and then he was going to piece it out and sell the other ones. So when I went to his house actually a little while ago, I saw this sitting there, and he was saying, I don't know if I'm going to sell them. I was like, well, if you do, I'd be interested in the Walrus Man. And he said, I'll think about it. So that's why he contacted me. So yeah, $20 for this carded Walrus Man. I'm going to keep him carded because I do have this exact figure from the 1980s or whatever that I already have. But I thought this would be kind of fun if I can find a way to display it next to the jumbo-sized version or something. So yeah, so that's that. Okay, so now here's another birthday present. This one was from my wife. So this here is Shimo from the most recent Godzilla X Kong movie. So this is from Hiya Toys. She's sharp.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Now, I was pretty excited to get this one.
Yeah, because you have
I have a Playmates version of this.
This looks a lot better.
But the thing is, I like Hiya Toys, but they are they're not that expensive actually. Like they're pretty affordable for what they are. But
It's got some weight to it.
it does, and they put out pre-orders. It's a really long wait. Like I've waited like 2+ years for some of these pre-orders. They just keep getting pushed back and pushed back. Um, but I do have a couple of them, like that King Ghidorah up here. You can see on the corner of your screen. That's a Hiya Toys. So when this Shimo first went up for pre-order, when that movie was, I don't even think the movie was out yet. I saw the pictures that they showed of this figure, and I pre-ordered it right away. I thought this could probably be my toy of the year when that comes out because it looks so nice, like that pearlescent paint job on it. Like it's hard to even describe on camera, but it looks really nice.
As you move it around, it's I don't know if that'll pick up on camera.
But it's really shiny, almost like staring into like a little pool of oil on the driver. It's really cool. So I had this on pre-order, and then months and months, probably like a year and a half went by, and I was like, you know what? This was one of the more expensive toys I had on pre-order, and I'd got the Playmates one in the meantime, and I was like, you know what? I don't know if I need this anymore, and I was second guessing myself, and I canceled it. So I didn't get it. So I didn't make my toy of the year list because obviously I didn't have it at the time. But plus I would have had to order from a place like Big Bad Toy Store with shipping and all of those stuff. Anyway, she showed up on Amazon not too long ago. So free shipping from Amazon. And again, she's still pretty cheap. This thing was like, I think before tax, was like $65 or something.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I pointed it out to my wife. She got it for me. I'm glad she did. It's like all of its little individual fingers are articulated.
Oh, wow.
Like it moves really nice. It stands up. Like she stands up on her hind legs and can move her head forward. Her jaw's articulated. Like she works really well. It's a nice figure. It is sharp to the touch. These fins, the spines are pretty fragile, I would guess. Another reason that I canceled this pre-order is that Hiya has a tendency, they take so long to put out the toys that before you even get this in hand, they put out a secondary version of it.
Okay.
So they've offered up a secondary and a third version of this now.
Oh.
So there's another one that has the blast effect because she shoots ice out of her mouth. So her eyes are kind of glazed over with. She has a little bit more of an icy look. And then there's one, I think, that may light up with the fins. And the fins are translucent. And I thought the translucent plastic fins might be the better way to hold out for that one. But they've also gone up in price, too. So this is the one that was available on Amazon. Yep. I said, you know what? I know I'm going to love it. I don't need the blast effect or whatever. So pulled the trigger. There she is.
Looks awesome.
She's a great figure. A couple other randoms. And these are all older figures. So I know, sorry, this isn't too exciting. But here's a random one. This is Antonio Banderas as Ronaldo from the last Indiana Jones movie. Are you an Indiana Jones fan? Have you seen
I have never seen Indiana Jones movies.
Wow.
We'll add it to our list.
Yeah. Indiana Jones is great. The last two movies, like they're not bad, but I think it has such a legacy for people that grew up on it that it's just hard to match that. And anyway, so we all knew Antonio Banderas was cast to be in the newest one, but I don't think, spoiler alert, we didn't expect him to only be in it for 5 minutes. Like,
who made this?
This is Hasbro.
Hasbro, okay.
From Indiana Jones, their Adventure Series line of 6-inch figures. So I bought quite a few of these figures when they came out, I think in 2024 when the movie came out. But Ronaldo was not a character, after seeing the movie, I'm like, I don't need him. He's not a character that's important to the lore at all. But they kind of get you because these were like Build-A-Figure waves. Okay. So where Marvel does Build-A-Figures and you get a part to a different figure, these guys were doing like Build an Artifact. Because in every Indiana Jones movie, there's like a MacGuffin he has to chase, like the Ark of the Covenant or the Holy Grail. And so this guy was part of a series where you could build the Holy Grail table, which you can see it over there on my table, I think.
Yeah.
So it's got this big stone backdrop, and then it's got a tabletop, and then it's got 2 legs, and it's got a bunch of different cups. And I thought, well, this guy has the tabletop. Mm-hmm. I already had the 2 legs, and I had the big stone backdrop, and I had the cups. I'm like, but I can't do anything with them because I don't have the tabletop that connects it all together. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to order this guy and finally complete my tabletop. I got it, and then I went to go build my table, and I realized I only have one of the 2 stone legs.
Oh,
So I still can't do anything with the table. I need to buy another figure to get the leg. So that was basically my whole reason for buying this, was to get a tabletop that now I can't do anything with. But it's not bad. I think the likeness to Antonio Banderas is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do love the Indiana Jones movies. And this is the kind of character where, even though he had a small role, if this movie had come out when I was a kid, back when I would sit and watch the same movie like over and over and over again, I would probably love this character just for like the scene he was in. But as a cynical adult, I'm kind of like, why did they make a toy of this guy? But I feel like over time, as people's views kind of soften on the movies, this guy might seem like more of an important character in the long run. I don't know. Maybe I'm being generous.
So who do you need to get to finish it?
Well, that's the thing. It's another version of Indiana Jones, which I don't really want, because I already have Indiana Jones in his classic attire.
Mm-hmm.
I have Indiana Jones in his like formal suit. I have Indiana Jones in his professor outfit. I have Indiana Jones when he's all dressed up in his desert gear. I have Old Man Indiana Jones, which is basically a variation of the classic suit, except with gray hair. And there might even be more. But the problem with the classic Indiana Jones, they did versions, one with his hat that comes off, one of them where he's got a necktie, one of them where he doesn't, one of them where his sleeve is ripped. Like, it's just scene-specific variations. And
like all my Alf NECA figures. It's the exact same Alf, but he's got a different shirt.
Yeah, so I didn't feel the need to buy every time his clothes get ripped.
Yeah.
And so I was disappointed when I realized, I'm like, God damn it, I need to buy another Indiana Jones. This one just has a tie. And it's like, otherwise it's basically a figure I already have.
Yeah. Okay.
And he was on sale. The Indiana Jones is not. So now do I really want to go out and pay full price for this toy? Yeah. So my table is probably going to remain undone. This is another figure from, he's probably about a year old. But this here is the Mummy.
Okay.
As played by Boris Karloff. Now, this is a NECA figure. They did a whole line of beautiful Universal Monster figures. They did them in color and they did them in black and white. I have a bit of a mix of both. I have the color Dracula and the color Wolfman. Then I got the black and white Frankenstein, the black and white creature from Black Lagoon, and I bought, I think, the colored Mummy.
Yep.
They also did glow-in-the-dark versions and a couple other variants. But the Mummy is one of those characters. He's got kind of two very unique looks. You've probably never seen this movie, I assume.
No.
Have you ever seen the Brendan Fraser Mummy?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, the Mummy is not a mummy, gross decaying monster for very long. He very quickly just looks like the actor Arnold Vosloo, and that's sort of the same thing in the original movie. Is that he's a mummy, all in bandages, for a short period of time, which I have a figure of, and that's the more iconic version. But most of the time, he's walking around in his human form as Ardith Bay. And I love the look of this. Plus, I feel like you really get to see Boris Karloff and appreciate his likeness, whereas the other one's under the makeup. So, this might not seem like an essential figure to everybody, but I really kind of felt like I needed to top off my Universal Monster collection. It's a great figure. It came with a bunch of accessories and stuff too. I'm pretty happy with them.
Yeah.
But I couldn't find them locally. I had them pre-ordered from GameStop. And it's one of those figures that GameStop here in Canada got bought out, and now it's known as EB Games. And there was a couple things I had pre-ordered, including this figure and a Red Sonja figure. And they just went on indefinite pre-order. Like, it seems like GameStop has no intention of ever actually getting them in, because this figure's been out for months and months and months.
Yeah.
I finally went and bought them on American Amazon.
Okay.
Which I don't get free shipping, but it's still affordable shipping. But I got him because he was like half price.
Right.
So there you go. I got my Ardith Bay. I got him in the same order as my Ronaldo. And the third thing I got in that set is another figure that I've wanted. If I'd bought it last year, it could have been in contention for my best of the year list, but I wasn't willing to spend that money, because this figure would have cost me about like $85, because he's a Super 7 Ultimate. They're $55 American. In Canada, that translates to $75 or $80.
Yeah.
And then if I ordered it somewhere that I had to pay for shipping, like Big Bad Toy Store, he's going upwards of $100. So I was like, But this here is Kull. I don't know if you're familiar with Kull.
No.
But he is another character created by the same guy that created Conan. So he also had a bunch of stories about this guy.
Okay.
And he's from the same world as Conan, except he's from a couple of, I don't know, centuries or thousands of years pre-Conan.
Okay.
Because there's a whole, like, kind of like with Lord of the Rings, a lot of those fantasy worlds where the author has, like, written the whole history of the world. Whether he ever needs it or not, he just knows the whole history of the world. So this guy was like the king of Atlantis before it sunk into the water and all that stuff.
Okay.
He has crossed over with Conan in the comic books through like time travel magic and all that sort of stuff. But Conan gets all the love, and Kull, you don't get a whole lot of Kull stuff.
No.
So this was made by Super7, done in the same style as their Conan figures and their Masters of the Universe classics. And the main reason I wasn't sold on this guy is because his crown looks so stupid in the images I was seeing online. I was like, that crown looks super goofy. But the crown comes off. You don't have to use it. And I actually don't think it looks as bad as I thought it did in the images.
No.
So, and he's got an alternate head. So he's relatively simple looking, but I do like this guy. And yeah, you're not going to get a whole lot of Kull stuff.
Yeah.
So.
That's a big sword.
Big sword.
Yeah.
Super7 does have a tendency to oversize their swords. All my Conan swords are way too big. But I just like the style of these.
Yeah.
I was complaining a little bit in the last episode about the like plethora of Conan figures that are coming out from different companies.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them you could argue like, well, that's clearly better than Super7's because this one's way grittier looking and more detailed. But I'm somebody that likes my toys to kind of look like toys.
Yeah.
I don't always necessarily love the gritty, the matte finish. I sometimes like some gloss on my figures and stuff. And also like NECA figures and stuff, they tend to be more brittle because of the plastic they use.
Yeah. These
guys here, sure, they look a little glossier, but they're more durable.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this guy is really good, even though he might not, be ultra realistic looking or his proportions are a little exaggerated or something. But I've always loved that kind of form factor on my Masters of the Universe, and he'll display nicely next to He-Man and Conan.
Yeah, fits well.
He does. All right, so yeah, those were my trio of figures that I bought from American Amazon because he was also marked down to, instead of 55 American, he was like 29 American. So I don't know exactly what the conversion was, but it was much better than what it would have been. All right, I don't know if I even want to go bother, because we've already talked a while now, I think. But I've got a bunch of Masters of the Universe characters. I might do just an episode on them.
Yeah.
I've got some of the cartoon collection guys like Whiplash here.
Oh, nice.
But I also got a couple of the new 2000X cartoon collection.
Okay, yeah.
So this was a kind of a pretty redesigned look of these characters when they came back in 2002. And so it's nice to get So I got Stratos and Evil Lyn. I don't really plan on collecting that line in full, but I wanted to kind of sample a couple of them. I have another one, Zodak, is on pre-order, and he should be arriving in a couple of weeks. But yeah, I didn't get He-Man, I didn't get Skeletor. I just got a couple of my favorite designs.
Yep.
And then I also got a ton of Marvel Legends here. I probably got about a dozen Marvel Legends to talk about. So that's enough to do a whole episode on, probably. But some that I'll show you that are kind of fun. This guy here I just got this week. This is the Hypno Hustler. He's like a very obscure Spider-Man villain who hypnotizes you with his like disco music.
Okay.
He's only appeared in like comic books like 3 times, maybe. I got some of the Inhumans 2-pack for my birthday. Again, my brother Doug got me a pack for my birthday. And maybe my wife bought me the other one. This guy's cool. We got a Cardiac. He is a 90s Spider-Man kind of anti-hero. And he's one of those guys that he was really popular for a short stint of time. And then he just never appeared. He like disappeared from the face of the earth. And I think it's because he was created partially by Eric Larson, who was one of the artists. I know we talked a little bit about Image way back in the day.
Yeah.
Famously, a bunch of artists like Todd McFarlane and Rob Liefeld left Marvel, and Marvel didn't really want to use their characters that they created so much because they had given them kind of lucrative licensing deals where every time Deadpool appeared in a comic book, they had to pay Rob Liefeld like a $1 or something. So Cardiac is one of those characters that he was created by one of the Image founders, and I think they owe Eric Larson money every time they touch him. So I think they've just avoided him. He's never had a figure before. I'm not going to say he's one of my favorite characters, but like he was pretty prominent for a little while, and he's a character I just kind of thought maybe we'll never get a toy of him.
I like the way he looks. Now, I would be interested in getting him just because he's Toronto Maple Leafs colors, and I think he would fit well because that's why I got the blue Spider-Man from the Gameverse one.
Yeah,
Like he would look cool next to that Spider-Man on my shelf.
well, I was kind of surprised when these guys came in, and I was opening them all up. My wife walked in, and she's like, "Oh, you got some new toys, did you?" And I thought she might get a kick out of the Hypno Hustler. I was like, "Check out this guy."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Whatever." And she's like, "Who's that guy with the big lollipop?" She said. And I said, "This is Cardiac. He is the heart surgeon / superhero. And this is his, that's not a lollipop, that's his electrified. He basically has a staff that acts as like a defibrillator. He like zaps you. And I don't know if you noticed, but like the pattern on it's supposed to be like a heart readout. So he's got this like wavy pattern that goes off his face and stuff. And this is the one that she kind of scoffed at and said, that's ridiculous that a heart surgeon would be a superhero named Cardiac. It was just like a bridge too far for her. And I was like, whatever. He's cool. So
yeah, I like him.
Yeah, me too. So I don't know if I'll do another episode or not where I talk about these guys, but whatever. Trust me, there's a bunch of Marvel Legends there. Most of them are pretty cool. So yeah, is there anything else you want to chat about, or are we done?
I think that's about it. I got a bunch of stuff on pre-orders that I'm excited to come out because like most of the stuff I got so far this year is older stuff, not a lot of new things. So I'm still waiting for my new stuff to finally get released, and when that comes, I'll let you know, and maybe we can shoot another one.
Yeah, like I said, we're halfway through February, so we're about the midpoint of the first quarter of the year so far. And every quarter, I shoot a best of the quarter video, right? Take all the toys I bought in those 3 months, and I kind of pick my top 10 or 15 out of them, and those figures go on to compete at the end of the year for my best of the year.
Yeah.
And even though I've been getting a lot of figures, so many of these figures, even the great ones, won't be in contention because this early in the year, I think more than past years, so many of the figures I'm getting are not 2026 releases.
Right.
Like that Kull, that Shimo, that
Turtle,
the Mummy, the Ninja Turtle. You know, those things are all figures that came out last year. Even those Masters of the Universe cartoon collection, they were technically released in December 2025, so some people had them online already. So I don't think I can count them for my best of 2026. So even though I've gotten a lot of figures in the past month and a half, there's only like a handful. I've only got about maybe 10 that are going to be in contention so far.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many more are coming. I've got a long list of pre-orders, but I kind of hope they don't all hit at once. But I'm expecting a wave of G.I. Joes in a week or so. I got an email from Hasbro Pulse that they're going to be sending me my pair of Marvel Legends Sentinels.
Okay.
These are you familiar with the Sentinel, the big mutant hunting robot?
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, they did a Sentinel figure that's like this big and it's like $300 or something. I didn't buy that, but then they did a pair of like 6-inch ones, which were based on the old X-Men video game where you fought like man-sized Sentinels. So yeah, I got the man-sized ones because that was a little more affordable.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should be cool.
A lot of my stuff that I have coming are things that have like if I would have got it directly from NECA or Nacelle, I would have them now. So I'm just like, I thought they were gonna come out a little bit staggered, but now I'm like, I feel like the like I got the last Ronin, like the new Turtles. So there's 4 of them, and then Mirage Comics Nobody,
right?
And I feel like there's another Mirage Comic one, but then I got the second wave of Biker Mice that are supposed to come, and I'm pretty sure they're all going to hit probably at the same time. So that's going to be rough.
I think you're doing it right, though. It's better to get them at a reasonable price rather than first.
Yes. Yeah.
Like
the shipping on NECA alone, I could get another figure.
Exactly.
Especially now that Big Bad has their $8 flat shipping, and then there's 2 other e-collectibles and Toy Snowman, I think is the other one. Testing those. I've never ordered from them before.
Yeah.
They're Canadian, testing those out. We'll see how those go.
Yep. Well, hopefully they work out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, yeah, we'll come back and we'll talk again when we got more shit to talk about.
Sounds good.
But all right. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for another episode sometime. And I'll see you then. Ciao.
Ciao.